up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at The Judge, directed by David Dobkin. The Judge tells the story of Hank Palmer, played by Robert Downey Jr., who is summoned back to his hometown after his mother dies, and while visiting, it's discovered that his father is a suspect in a murder. Now, Hank has to prove his father's innocence while all the while trying to reconciliation their very strained relationship and also reconnect with his family along the way. All right, that is the overall story of The Judge. Let's talk about it. I think at face value, The Judge is actually a pretty decent movie. It's got a very strong cast. It's got a very easy and simple to follow story. But what I think holds this movie down is the fact that it really does make very little use of its supporting actors, of its supporting cast, and also just has very just weak conclusions to a lot of subplots that it brings up. And I overall think that it brings the quality of the movie down a lot because some good actors are in this movie, and a lot of them are really quite wasted. But before I go into my negatives, let me just overall talk about my positives. As a whole, this movie boasts a very good cast. You have Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall, Vincent D'Onofrio, Tessia Flamingo. You got some very good actors in this movie. This movie, of course, is supported by Downey and Duvall, who give fantastic performances. Downey, who plays Hank, the strange son of the judge. How can you criticize a Downey performance? The man is just fantastic. The man could be in a bad movie, but you know he's going to be good in it. He just has that snarky, just asshole like a charisma that makes him just very, very likable. He is the real life Tony Stark. It doesn't matter if every time you see a Downey Jr. movie, oh, he's acting like Tony Stark. Downey has always been Tony Stark, even going back to his youth. So seeing him in this movie, it works. He makes it work, and I thought Downey was fantastic. Robert Duvall, he was equally as good as Joe Palmer, the judge. I thought he was great in his role as well. I like the relationship between Hank and Joe. I like how their relationship is very, very strained, going back to when Hank was a teenager. He was sent to a juvenile camp after he got into a big car accident, which kind of screwed up his older brother's chances at being an MLB baseball star. So I like that personal story. I like it, and to me, that's one of the strongest parts of the movie, especially once Joe gets is being accused of murder. Uh, Hank is pretty much the first one to step up and come right to the defense of his father. And maybe that's just the lawyer side of him, or maybe that's just Hank deep down wanting to just make a reconciliation with his father. And once Hank goes on the case to try and clear his dad's name, that's where the seeds of reconciliation between the two really start to form, and that's where the on-screen chemistry of Downey and Duvall really start to pick up, and they pretty much carry this movie all the way to its conclusion. I, I cannot praise these two enough in this movie. I thought they did fantastic. As for the supporting cast, you have Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays the older brother. I thought D'Onofrio in the movie was really, really good. He and Downey have decent on-screen chemistry, as does the other brother, played by Jeremy Strong, who suffers from autism. I think the three brothers, they have really good on-screen chemistry with one another, and I would have liked to have just seen more scenes of them just bonding and reconnecting, because the family drama is some of the best stuff in this movie, aside from the courtroom drama, which is also some of the best stuff in this movie as well. Like, this movie's strongest suits is the family drama and the courthouse drama, and those stuff works, and that stuff works really, really well. And I like how David Dobkin is able to infuse a little bit of a comedic element into this movie as well. You have Dak Shepard, who is in this film, and I think that Dak Shepard is a very underappreciated comedic actor. I think he's actually pretty funny. But he plays the judge's first defense attorney named C.P. Kennedy, who was like a rookie pretty much. And I thought Dak Shepard, in the small role that he was in, I found him to be amusing. I would have liked to see more of his role get expanded upon, but but in the scenes that he was in, I enjoyed it. You also have Billy Bob Thornton, who was playing who was who was representing the man that the judge supposedly killed. Billy Bob Thornton, great actor. He's in this movie. In the scenes he was in, I thought he was good. At the end of the day, he's underutilized as well. Not enough scenes of his character interacting with Downey's character, both inside and outside the courtroom. I thought that was a missed opportunity as well. Tessa Farmiga, who plays the love interest. Now, the whole love interest side of this movie, I think, is very, very weakly done. Basically, Tessa Farmiga plays the ex-lover of Downey's character, and it's also revealed that the daughter of her character might or might not be the daughter of the Hank character, and it's not revealed to the end of the movie that it's actually the daughter of Hank's brother Glenn. So, not not only do I feel the romance part of the romance angle of this movie is kind of weakly done, because I feel Downey and Farmiga don't get enough scenes to really form any sort of on-screen chemistry. They get scenes that are peppered throughout here and there, and there is something there, but David Dobkin doesn't fully flesh it out to its fullest potential. And when you finally get to the ending, and to the revelation that that Flamingo's daughter is not Hank's and Glenn's, it's kind of disappointing. It's like a disappointing payoff to me, and it's like, really, after all that, that's the answer. You should have never brought this plot point up to begin with. I thought it adds absolutely nothing to the movie in the long run, my opinion, of course. Uh, and that's a big thing for me. And that's a big thing, that the whole love interest angle, you could have gone somewhere with that. The whole subplot of Hank going through a divorce with his soon-to-be ex-wife, it's brought up in the beginning of the movie, and it's almost as if the movie just completely forgot it existed, because it never gets brought up again, and we never really see how that affects Hank while defending his father. That could have been more drama to add on. That could have been more pressure to add on to Hank, on top of the pressure that's already happening with his father. Having that pressure of a divorce hanging over his head, that could have added for some more drama as well, and really played into the whole family drama aspect of this film, which I actually liked. And in some ways, I thought it was well handled, and in other ways, I thought the potential was just squandered by David Dobkin, who was not a good fit for this movie. Not because I don't think David Dobkin's a bad director. I love Wedding Crashers. It's a great movie. But you have a guy who is mostly a comedic director directing a drama like this. And I think this movie could have benefited more from somebody who is more savvy when it comes to dramas and legal dramas. And getting a director like David Dobkin, to me, there are moments where I don't think he understands what to do with the story. And there are a lot of scenes that drag on longer than they have to, and there are a lot of characters that just go to waste. I think a more seasoned director of dramatic works would have been more appropriate for the judge, because I think they would have fleshed out a lot of the supporting characters that had bit roles and had bit moments to shine. But a more dramatic director would have stretched out those moments more and made those characters feel like more important than what they really were in this film. And the whole love story would have definitely been fleshed out better, and would have definitely had a more interesting and more satisfying payoff than the whole revelation of the older brother just having a one night stand with his little brother's ex girlfriend, which I just think is ridiculously stupid, to be honest with you. But in terms of David Dobkin directing the movie as is, even though I don't think he was a good fit for it, he did do an overall solid job. This is a visually good looking movie. The cinematography is really, really nice. I like how Dobkin created this small town where everybody knows who you are. It feels really relatable and very, very real. And that's one of the things I do appreciate about The Judge, is that it feels real, and that it feels very authentic, and that all the actors played their roles really, really well in the long run. So yeah, those are my overall thoughts on The Judge. At the end of the day, I'm going to give this movie a solid 6.5 out of 10. It is a movie that you can watch once and you will be entertained by it. As for my complaints, yeah, the certain subplots don't get really good payoffs. A lot of the supporting cast don't get enough time to shine. And to be honest with you, this movie could have been cut down by at least 20 minutes, and I think the flow of it would have flowed much better. If you're not really going to do much with your supporting cast and with the majority of subplots, cut the movie down, focus on the family stuff and focus on the courtroom stuff, and leave all the other stuff behind. And this movie to me would have been much, much better than what it really was. But as is, a solid 6.5 out of 10. I do give it a slight recommendation if you like legal dramas. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like this video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.